Welcome to Indian Indian News. Our guests today are Deepali Gulati. She is an advocate for anti-domestic violence and works at Saheli Boston. And Renu Tewarie is Executive Director of Saheli Boston. She has been with this non-profit organization for the last 15 years. This month is Anti-Domestic Violence Month. So we are going to talk briefly about what is happening at Saheli and what Saheli is doing. And then we are going to talk about upcoming big annual fundraiser gala for Saheli called Nirbhaya, which is happening on December 4th at Burlington Marriott in Boston. So, Deepali, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
And this is your first time, so even double welcome to you.
And Renu,
you have been here for several times.
Yes.
So again,
thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you so much.
So I don't know where to start, but let us start. This is anti-domestic violence month here, being celebrated worldwide. And Saheli is such an important organization, has played a very important role in creating awareness of domestic violence, especially in Indian South Indian community. So let's first start with the domestic violence and how Saheli is dealing with this challenge. And then I'll come back to you why.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So this, as you said, this month is a Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we started, I think, on the 3rd of October. That was the first event we had. That was lighting the tree. That was because we light the tree for the people who lost their lives for the domestic violence. So in the remembrance of those people, we had the event. Then we had multiple events. So we went to the colleges because that's a part of our intervention program. Prevention program, so that, people know about it and then they do take care that domestic violence does not happen. Then we had a bigger event, 5K walk.
So this was basically to create awareness.
Awareness, okay. Yes, that's what it is a whole month about. Okay. And then we had a 5K walk, which is just did last Saturday. Okay. And it was successful and we are raising money with that. And then that's what we have been doing.
So now tell us a little bit, those of our viewers who may not be familiar with Saheli Boston, how Saheli Boston is making a difference in the Indian area.
So as you know, domestic violence is a topic that we don't talk about. So I think people doesn't know the domestic violence is a taboo in our culture, and they don't know where to seek the help. And we are making changes by telling people what they should do if this thing happening at home or the women is feeling suffocated, because it's good to come out and talk about it. So domestic violence is more like hidden. It's done behind the doors and where nobody comes to know about it. And I think Saheli has done a lot of good job. We have helped every year 300 women. When I say 300, it's not only the women, it's the whole families. Then it's all together, it will be more like 5,000 people. Okay. With the children and families.
Sure. So Deepali, on the action front, you are in the middle of all these things. And what is your take on this, why this happens, what we should do, and how Saheli is playing a role?
So Saheli is playing a very important role. First, we have to understand why are survivors coming to us and why we are doing this. First of all, we are a very niche organization, the only language and cultural centric organization in all of Massachusetts and all of New England. But we have to understand why these women are facing more these barriers here and coming to us. So there are cultural, immigration, and language barriers for which we are able to help them. Cultural barrier is women, like Renu said, they don't speak about it. It's a taboo. It's a stigma to talk about domestic violence in your own home. Immigration barriers, women come from South Asia, Middle East on refugee visas or on dependent visas, the H-4 visas, and it refrains from them becoming financially independent and be able to work, and they're forced to stay with the abuser. And then finally, language barrier. So many of these women don't speak the English language, and it further isolates them. They are not able to find any kind of help anywhere. So that's where we come in and create this safe space for them, where we find them lawyers, we find them mental health, we have our own programs, and finally economically empower them so that they can lead safe and healthy lives with their children.
Now, you mentioned about, the cultural barriers. And I think domestic violence still is, despite all this awareness and effort, is a big taboo in the Indian and South Asian community. So how does culture prohibits people from seeking out help? How important that barrier is?
It's a big barrier in our culture, whether it's South Asia or Middle East. We have women from Middle East or Arabic speaking women. It's all about the man being or the abuser being the breadwinner, and he controls everything, and women are homemakers, they're not home breakers, so they shy away. Family plays an important role in our they want their daughters or their daughter-in-laws to bear with what they're doing and not speak up. So and financially they're not independent, and they are not trained to go out to work, or their mental capacity is not there to go and be able to earn their own living. So that plays a big role.
And secondly, I think it's very sad we are still talking about domestic violence now when, it's 21st century. How we raise our daughters, they are always taught from the childhood to be homemakers, and the burden is put like izzat and all those things. Tum ghar ki beti ho, you have the izzat, you have to do this. So already we put so many barriers in the children when we bring up the daughter up. So that's already when she is getting older, that burden she carries throughout the life. And then she has to take care of the in-laws, and that's a part everybody's expecting from her. But in reality, why are we expecting that? Because she should have the equal rights. And in this century, we are fighting for the equal rights for a woman. It's really sad in a way.
So now I have one comment on this one. It is, of course, very important to reach girls, the way everybody, there should be no discrimination. But I think if we really want to stop domestic violence, I think we have to raise our sons right.
Yes.
Because they are the one future abusers. Yeah. And so I think the equal emphasis will be given to our sons.
I totally agree with you, because I think we have to teach our daughters. Sons are actually a big thing, like they have to respect the mother and the sister at home, and then only they will respect their...
Because they are seeing all the time at home what is happening. Exactly. And when they grow up,
and the cycle of abuse continues.
It continues,
when they see it in their own home, they continue in their future home. So we have, and that's where our prevention comes. We go and talk in schools and colleges about what the boys should learn.
Sure, yeah. Well, I have been a big supporter of Saheli. I was there on day one when the Saheli was formed.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And I've been always. So now, to do all these things Saheli is doing, you need some funds and money.
Yeah.
And I hear that Saheli is doing its annual fundraiser gala Nirbhaya on December 4th at Burlington Marriott.
Yes, that's true.
So if you can talk about that, what is going to happen?
So we are I think a lot of things are happening that day. So the main guest, chief of the guest is our Geeta Iyer, and the rest, there are going to be more speakers, and that's happening on, as you said, on 4th of December. And then I think it starts from 4 to 8. There are some music in it and some dances in it. So the full description will be coming up, and
sure.
then you can see more what is going to happen that day. I think people have to come to enjoy, because it's a big cause. When we bring money to this, it's like we provide an extra food to the people who needs, and the warm clothes for the children who doesn't have. When Deepali said for H4 visa, so they are here. Her husband brought them here, but now the husband went away or divorced her or whatever. He left her, so they are not citizen anymore.
They don't have any status.
Yes.
They don't get food stamps. They don't get any DTA. So how those women are going to survive here? The children are born here. They can't go back, because the children are if they do go back, they are kidnapping the kids. So they can't go back till she has the permission from the husband to take the kid back, but normally they don't get it because the husband doesn't want to give her the full freedom at all. So they are in a very messy situation. And when we raise funds, we help these women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important to come and donate money.
Mm-hmm. And we're not just helping the women. we are helping the next generation also.
Sure,
We
the
are
family.
helping
Yes,
the
the whole
family,
family.
the kids, and if we help women to become economically empowered, to have a roof on our head, have food on the table, we are helping the kids get out of this trauma
Yes.
and be able to study and then thrive and flourish here. Because otherwise, the doors are closed in every which way for them.
So now, with your experience in the middle of all this, working with people in this Indian South Asian community, how do you look at is demand growing up for Saheli type of services, or there is a flattening out, or what is happening?
I think demand is increasing. I think women are getting more knowledgeable that if they don't have to take it anymore, or even it is like people are knowing more about Saheli, so they come. But still, it's not there enough that it is like people.
But are the number of cases growing? Or
I think we can't. It is growing because I think in a way it is sad. Sad because I don't. In a reality, we don't want that domestic violence to happen, though it is still happening. But I think the number increasing is just because women are getting more knowledgeable that they don't have to take this anymore. In the traumas to live in the family which is toxic in family, so they think of taking a step to get out of the house.
So Renu,
The numbers are already, sorry to interrupt,
Sure.
and thank you, Renu, for bringing that up. The numbers were already there. It's just that our work and the awareness that we are building, that it is safe for women to come out and talk about it and get help. That is most important. They need to get out. They are so scared of the police. As an immigrant, women are so scared to call the police. They don't know what DCF will do if the kids will be taken away or not. So, because in back home, they don't deal with the police and these kind of organizations. So once they know that it is safe and they will be able to survive, they come up and speak to us, and they stand up for what they feel is right for them and their kids.
And I think also, thank you, Deepali. So I think also because we have more resources now to help them more. So I think that also is helping us,
So how big is the Saheli right now in terms of its staff?
So how we have like in staff in home, like you can say like a lawyer. That's like very big thing. So staff lawyer. Then we have a staff, a mental health person. Then we just build up for the children department. We are still busy with building up that. So these are the main things, and the housing. That's a huge one, because when somebody is in danger, they don't know where will they go. So we are trying to build up a housing program where we can have them for a few months, then we make them stable, and then they can live on their own, or help them to find a job, or help them to find other resources. So we are building those things. So because of that, it is increasing.
So we are almost 15 employees. And the best part is that we cumulative help women from 14 different countries.
14 different
And we cumulative can speak in 9 different languages, between all South Asian, Middle East, French, all dialects of Middle
So
East.
how do people from Indian community, I understand, because a lot of workers and volunteers from India, how do people in the Middle East community know about
So we go for outreach, and then we do have advocates, domestic violence advocates, also from the Arabic speaking. So we do, they are there, they go in community. So we also just had got an Afghani advocate, because South Asia includes Afghanistan.
Sure.
So another way of our outreach is going and speaking to the police officers, different police stations, where where there are a lot of Middle East population, and going and talking to DCF, the Department of Children and Families. So then they know that we have an Arabic advocate, Arabic housing advocate. So when they know, and in fact, when a client or survivor goes to them directly, they call us. Because
have you ever, I'm just curious, ever received any call from Hispanic community?
We do.
Yeah.
We have some clients at the moment too who are speaking Spanish. But the thing is, they feel more at home, because I think with us, because we are immigrants, so we understand each other better. Maybe it's not the language, but the atmosphere, the body language, and the whole together, they understand better. They feel more comfortable coming to us.
Okay.
So we provide, the way we help our survivors is we become their family, because we are immigrants. So we know what difficulties an immigrant faces. So whether it's Middle Eastern, South Asian, or Hispanic, we understand as an immigrant what you're going through. So once they feel that empathy coming from us, they feel comfortable, even though we are not able to speak the Hispanic or Spanish language.
The typical immigrant dilemma.
Exactly.
I remember, once I was listening to an interview by a Cuban immigrant on National Public Radio, and he was asked, as an immigrant, how do you feel? He said, when I'm in Florida, I miss Cuba, and when I'm in Cuba, I miss Florida. I don't know where do I belong. Yes. So it's again, it's a lot of mental issue as well. Again, I come back to the mental. You mentioned about the Saheli also has
mental health, because it's a lot of trauma there.
Yeah, so domestic violence and mental is just
side by side. Yeah. So though it's again, the mental health is again a taboo in our culture.
It's a big taboo now. Yeah.
So, but now we try to explain it's not the mental health; it's the stress they are going through, the depression they are going through. They can't sleep at night. All those things need to be handled. So we just think like children have gone through trauma and the wife too. So they both are in trauma, and then they can't have a good conversation together. So there's always something going on in the home. So we are having children also, have a program for the children also for the mental health and for the mother.
I remember once, I think 7-8 years ago, Saheli did a wonderful job on creating a whole day-long workshop on mental health issue. I remember that.
Yeah, we still have those. We still do that. Yeah. Now it is one-on-one. So we have like the whole department now. So we have one-on-one mental health, and then we run support groups. You can.
So before I come to both of you for your last word on Saheli, I have one question for you, starting with you, Deepali, is how did you get involved with Saheli, and how enriching has been this for you, for your own personal life?
Women's issue was always very important for me. So I will just stop at that. Okay. And it is a very fulfilling when we see a survivor come to us in absolutely having nothing, and then able to support their children, put food on the table for them, and be able to work and then donate to Saheli. To see that brings tears of joy to us, and to me specifically. So it's very fulfilling when a survivor comes and says, thank you, I'm able to do this by myself now, and you helped me.
Yeah, what about you?
For me, it's a long journey actually. So I started like 13 years ago. I think I just met somebody from Saheli, and that person just said, like, go and do, certification for domestic violence. And I think when I did that, and that really made me somewhere, because we bring women out of the darkness. They are nobody in community or society can hear their pain or their call. So I wanted to be that person which can help those women, because when you're ill, when you're having anything, if you're going through any other pain, you can tell people, but this you can't share it. So I just wanted to be that person. And I think for me now, it's very fulfilling. As Deepali said, I think I have helped, I don't even know how many women, to be honest. But every time you get a call saying, giving you blessings, even their parents, it could be parents. I remember a few years ago, it was a December time, some parents were visiting the person, and it was a survivor. So I had helped her, and they just wanted to meet me. I told them it's like winter, it's like heavy snowing, so let's not meet. But she said, no, I really want to meet. And I had tears when I saw them. They had a Ganesh Murti in their hand and a very nice cup. And they said, I can't give you enough what you have done for my child, but all the blessings are here for you.
So now, since you mentioned the Ganesh Murti and this, so how this domestic violence, do you have any data, something to compare how it is in the Hindus or Muslims or Christians?
Yeah, we do that because, yes, we do have somewhere. I mean, I don't know the top of my head, but I think South Asian we do separately. So, yes, we have more of data on the South Asian.
And you find it across all the religious groups and communities?
We help everything. India is
sure.
Secular. This is what we stand for. So yes, we do have data there. We help everyone, because anybody who comes to our office or calls us, we can't say no, because that's not who we are, right?
So we have data for the data, but for us, humanity comes first, and whoever walks in is our client, and we help them with open arms and give all out everything. So.
And our data is also somewhere, because for the South Asian people are always there. Yes, we
Yeah,
know
sure.
that.
Yeah.
So we just started the Middle East it's like in 3 years ago or three and a half year. So the data is not that big yet. So we are building on it, but the data is mostly on the South Asian
Okay.
because that's what we started
Sure.
as.
So now, as we come closer to the interview, so my question to you, your last word on Saheli and domestic violence, anti-domestic violence month.
Build awareness.
Mhm.
When we speak, we help every woman who's going through this. Talk about it more. We don't be shy about it, and be open about it, and stand up for every woman. Believe in her that she's going through this.
What about your last word on Nirbhaya upcoming?
Nirbhaya, I would request everybody to come and join us on that day. It is
December 4th.
December 4th, yes, at 4 p.m. from 4 to 8 p.m. in Burlington Marriott. Please do come because this money raising is very important. We help a lot of women. I will just say women because it is very much this domestic violence is the only crime you can think of it. It's very much gender based. Though our statistics shows that 1 in 3 women goes through the domestic violence. That's what I'm talking in
Sure.
US, not in India. I'm
Sure.
talking about US. So do come and bring money along and donate because it is a big cause. You help not only a woman, you help the children along. And we together as a community have to stand against this crime, help women to be strong again.
Yeah.
And
Well, on this panel, as a man, I definitely want to add is that domestic violence issue is not only against women. Also, men are very responsible for this. They should be educated because if they do not take care of this issue, our next generation and the following generation will be caught in that cycle. So men have to play a very important role in this. And also coming back to Nirbhaya annual fundraising event, please do come. Men, women, children, bring everybody there to the event. And also do bring your checkbook because it is very, very important to raise money for this great cause and event. Saheli has been an incredible player to create awareness about domestic violence in the community here, and as well as awareness for the mental health as well. So it's a great non-profit organization has been serving community. And please do bring your check and bring your friends who can support this organization. Now, Deepali, thank you very much for
Thank you
coming.
very much.
And it
Thank
was-
you for inviting us.
Sure.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much,
you
Upendraji,
so much.
so
Excellent.
much.
Good.
Thank you.
And all the best for Nirbhaya Fundraiser.
Thank you.
And I'm sure